Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne. It's the Croatian League Finals. League Finals? What's that? Well, the Croatians played an autumn and a spring league this year. The spring league was won by one of our protagonists, that is Bluste versus Tompa99, the 2-1. The autumn league was won by another one of our protagonists. This time it was Tompa99 winning versus Bluste with the same score. A close game decided in the third game with a 50-50 flip on the last piece, actually, or penultimate piece would be more correct. And therefore, these two meet again just 2 days after the Autumn League final. This time it's called the League Finals, and the only two participants are Bluste and Tompa. They fight for the right to represent Croatia in the group stage of the Champions League, because the first place in this league final will get a direct ticket to the group stage, whereas the runner-up would secure a Q1 ticket. Although in case of Bluste, he already has secured a Q3 ticket and might decide to let the third place finisher somehow play the Q1. But I'm not sure if he actually would go that route. I guess he might, because this would allow a third Croatian to participate in the Champions League. If he'd win, though, I guess he for sure will take the group stage ticket. So Bluste, currently rated at around 600 with a P rating slightly over 700, could be considered the favorite overall. The last 10 games these two played were in Bluste's favor. Tompa99 currently at 666. That's any indication? We'll see. Top rating below 700, but I guess they'll be the next master from Croatia. So I don't have a favorite today. Both are pretty strong. Both should be able to win this one, should be able to play more or less error-free games. But we'll see about that. In the third game of the Autumn League Finals, Bluste, for example, made a crucial, let's call it suboptimal move, where he placed a meeple on a road, although a lot of road ends were already gone. And in the end, this meeple was stuck there for 3 points. And that's one of the keys for him losing this game. So looks like either one of them isn't online or something is wrong. No, they just haven't started yet. And here we go. Should refresh now. Yeah, good luck and have fun. And same to you. Tompa with the blue meeples. I don't know why. Actually, this should be... No, that's okay. Well, let's keep it at that. So Tompa playing blue, Bluste yellow, because I have Bluste as the home side over here. First 4 points. I'm not sure what's Bluste thinking about. Yeah, interesting way. I think most folks would just try to secure this loop road and would rather not try to build road that needs 2 road ends, at least in most cases, as a loop like this is rather unlikely. First monastery to Tompa obstructs yellow side of the road at least a tiny bit. And the problem for Bluste now is no matter where he continues the road, he'd always have to give a point to blue. Therefore, this one here, hoping to connect to blue's loop road, might even be the best option. But in that case, he would have added these 2 pieces, whereas blue only invested the 1. Mind you, the dagger was also placed by blue, but not for the purpose of road building, of course. Meanwhile, both opened smaller cities on the right side. Yellow's a bit precarious there. Can't really justify using this Dorito over here because of the immediate blocking threat like this, and with 2 starting tiles already gone, it's definitely not a nice option. And this here is also quite annoying due to the 1 dagger already gone and blue having this easy continuation and then the blocking threat. Therefore, yellow decides to indirectly continue their city, which gives blue the chance to take this part, and quite likely they'll try to exert pressure on this square, maybe even later on kill this to win a mini battle. Meanwhile, blue stacked the second monastery, yellow opened another loop road. They don't really like to connect here. And they also added a monastery of their own, slightly obstructing blue's city continuation. And blue gets the wrong kind of dagger, but I guess, yes, exactly over there should be the best idea. Slight obstruction of yellow city, having another one of your own to continue if you get prime pieces like an extender, and also indirectly protecting the shared square of your monasteries because you limit the blocking square creation square. So all fine and dandy here for blue. Yellow's prospects don't look that great as of now. This city here could boost their score immensely, though, if they be able to close this in the usual lip shape pattern. But I guess the next big city piece by blue would be added like this to complicate the finalization of the city, and therefore yellow forces the issue, gunning for the Dorito here, hoping to close this rather quickly. In the long run, if there would be this loop, then this huge field here should become very valuable. And for now, looks like blue would be the one to take it. This cow here is a big spanner in yellow's works, threatens to further limit this square and definitely complicates closing this city by at least one magnitude. Blue also limited the connection square over here to more or less the same configuration that was existent on the left side. Of course, yellow needs this city and needs it ASAP, and therefore they use the big city there, a big city piece, the horse prime piece to limit a yellow's city. It's always nice to use a dagger to limit a city to the same dagger, especially if there's none left in the deck. In this case, there still is one available, but only the one. And the problem for yellow isn't just that this is a 50-50, but also that their city next to it is blocked for all intents and purposes as well. Because if they'd close this, they would give blue the chance to immediately kill their bigger city, and they need to close the bigger city. Yellow connects on the right side, equalizes the city there. Blue scored 2 small cities. With only 2 in hand, they don't meeple the field, which I actually am not a fan of. They have 2 rather easily closable roads, and this here might get closed anyway. And I guess if Bluste closes the monastery, they might take this field. Very bad news for yellow though. Blue just got the remaining dagger, and therefore this city and the meeple in this city are dead. So yellow closes this loop here, takes a 6-point field with a lot of potential due to many green squares. But this here again is dead, and quite likely they are hoping to add more cities up top. Blue, meanwhile, takes this smaller field, or mind you, it's the same size as of now. They try to limit this square to prevent yellow from liberating their monastery. And they are getting nice pieces from the deck. So yellow only has the one option to liberate the monastery, and that is drawing the last field monastery available. Meanwhile, blue just continues with the scrolling onslaught. Yeah, this looks really rough for yellow here. They even elect to use this very valuable splitter over here instead of on their field, just to jump on the chance and be able to attack blue's field. To me, this looks like a rather desperate move, and not one I think that in the long run helps their winning chances. Adding 2 caps to your field with the possibility of scoring 7 points per city, 4 for the city itself and 3 for your field. And then taking something else to attack here and maybe obstruct a blue city might have been the better option. Although this here wasn't present when yellow placed the splitter. It came exactly in the move after Bluste's splitter here. But good news for yellow, they get their monastery, score 9 plus the 1, get a second meeple back. Blue got one of the road monasteries because of Blue's 2 farmers. They don't try any weird stuff like creating a huge field, which would only help yellow's chances in this game. Instead, they just take 2 points. Bluste has to decide whether it's worth it to attack this city or not. Their problem is a continuation like that. Oh, that's the wrong piece. Let's take it from here. Where blue would threaten to use one of the remaining big city tiles to create a larger city. So Bluste, with an interesting way, he doesn't attack the city. He notices that this city can't be completed with 1 tile because this was the last city cap with a field on the left side. Actually, the last city cap with a field on either side. And the only chance for blue to still close this city would have been to draw an extender and then another city cap, which there are only 2 remaining, now just 1 because blue still drew the penultimate starting tile, and therefore blue just closed their city, getting a meeple back. And Bluster, of course, isn't happy with this lousy field over here. He hopes to take over yellow's field. In this case, though, this here just doesn't cut it. This would at least give you a 50-50 shot over here, drawing for the last starting tile or crossroad. And in some cases, for example, if blue would have drawn the last horse or rode the rito, they could not have blocked this here. So overall, might have been okay. At least it adds this farmer to the now shared field for 3 points. But if you really need to take this field over, I think moving the starting tile 1 square to the south would have been the better move. Was a bit unlucky for yellow, of course, that Tompa got one of the 2 blocking pieces. Yeah, I think only 2. 1 extender and 1 cow. So 2 out of 11 or 12. And what else is there for yellow now? 8-point road is nice, but at -12, that's just not enough. Especially not if blue just draws the remaining city cap, which would have added 7 points to your score. Also, blue with a farming attack on the left side curve would add 3 points to their score. Ooh, the Road Monastery. Totally missed that one. This unites these two fields, and now it's a yellow field. And there's only one curve left for blue to tie this. The good news, though, is the score is tied at 96, and they have 2 meeples in hand versus Bluste's 1. The bad news, I don't see another easy way to attack the field. They need the curve over here. So going for a curve like this doesn't really help and would be blockable anyway. So in the end, this here doesn't help as well because the remaining curve is the last piece left that has fields on these two sides. But at least it would prevent the Bluste from using the curve over here to expand his field for 3 points. So indeed, Tompa goes for it. Bluste, well, this does nothing. There's no need to block this. By drawing the curve, it was dead anyway. Tompa wisely scores 2 points, which kills a 4-point road option. And now he's at +3. Still has the monastery to dump at least one piece for 1 point there. There's no way for Bluste to close this city. There aren't any big features left to take, so it looks like Tompa will eke out a win here with 3, 4, 5 points. The remaining Road Dorito has no shield, so it's worth only 1 point, but could be used over here for 4. The straight road could be used somewhere for 3 points. There are multiple field options available. Or road options as well. So in that case, if you're Tompa, just adding this to your monastery might be the best option. Then you'd score quite likely 3 points on your last turn. Yeah, this more or less does the same. If Bluste gets the Dorito, he'll take 4 points for the road, and then you can just add a straight up top for a 3-point win. So to me, the most crucial developments here were these farmers and of course the starting tile after the critical block by blue. The road monastery gave new life to yellow, but They still are a few points short of the winning score here. Oh, and of course, drawing both these daggers. The first one to block Yellow City, the second one to kill this. They were quite critical as well. A 1 minute break. Yep, that's nice. I'll take a quick break as well. So if Tompa might win this second one, or would win the second one, again, as I said in the beginning, then you would secure a group stage ticket, and Bluste, I think, at least in theory, should be able to decide whether he'd like to take the Q1 or Q3 ticket. In case he opts for the Q3 ticket, the Croatians would be able to send a third participant to the Champions League, or rather a second one to the qualifiers. So if that would happen, I think we just need to ask them how they'd like to handle this, because I like to know. Yeah, looks like Bluste is taking a break as well. Then let's take a peek at the statistics. So thinking time on par. Bluste with 37 road points. Whoa, that's quite a lot. Not often you see someone score more than 30. And 25 would be quite a lot. So here we go, second game. Let's keep our fingers crossed for Bluste maybe, just so we get a decider. Again, not your usual continuation, because taking either the left or right road end gives your opponent the chance to build a loop road. But if you take the top one, then your opponent would have the chance to build a 6-point loop road, which you could attack, of course. So overall, both moves are okay. I would prefer this one here, just because it's more likely to be able to prevent or attack a 6-point loop than a 4-point loop. Blue starts with a bigger city project at the top. Yellow with an obstruction on the left. But blue gets a nice deal from the deck, drawing a cap to close the city on the left side. Immediately, yellow threatens an indirect kill over here. Isn't successful. Blue again gets a nice piece from the deck with this extender, and then even a city cap to immediately close that one. And the signs over here point in one direction, and that is An advantage for blue. But Bluste at least was able to close 2 cities. This loop road here got a quick point tile. And so the score is more or less equal. Will be interesting to see who of these two will jump on this field first. Bluste closes the city. So to kill this here or to obstruct it. And in a case like this, and there's only one of the daggers available anyway, going for the jugular, hoping that your opponent might draw something unwieldy like a quadruple city or, for example, a regular monastery with which they couldn't do anything about this square, might be the right choice. The problem with this is you now have one dead meeple, but at least it scores 9 points, and turning the Dorito the other way, so you'd be able to create a bigger ruin, would only threaten an attack from your opponent. So taking the 9 points is fine as is. So blue took the field. Yellow limits this. Again, there's only one right-handed dagger left to close this city. This here is dead, and if yellow adds a curve here or maybe some straightish piece there, this field is severely limited, and without this dagger will be stuck at 6 points. That's exactly why Bluste kills this square with the first chance he got, and will quite likely use something over here if he gets another road piece. Meanwhile, blue desperately would need a curve or even better, the remaining road monastery to open up the field again. So it wouldn't surprise me if Bluste were to go here. The worst outcome for Bluste would be this here, blocking this square to a starting tile and also giving blue more options to add more cities to his field. Though Bluste decides to protect this big city / ruin on the left side and creating this city here somewhere where it's safer than over here. Let's see if he goes for the total field obstruction now, or rather limitation. Yeah, this time he does. And now blue has 2, for all intents and purposes, dead meeples worth 15 points. For now, it works out for them. They are at +9 on the virtual scoreboard. But in the long run, their meeple minority won't help them. This curve is also nice. Any road piece over here would create another field on the outside of this road here, which then would be Bluste's to take, of course, as he's the one with more meeples to spare. Yeah, he takes the field, blocks this prime monastery square. Quite likely he'll attack this square if he gets the chance to do so. Limiting this here to the remaining starting tile would be very annoying for blue. Yeah, but two can play this game. Blue limits yellow's field up there. They could have even used this cow over here to limit this extension. Maybe with the next Dorito or triple city tile, although there's only one horse remaining. Let's see. So with these cities and this small field, yellow has climbed back in this game. Now they are at -3 only. And getting this city cap will be quite crucial. And because it's on yellow's field, blue doesn't even mind adding the curve over here. Yes, this gets killed, but at least there's no chance for yellow to add this city to their farm. This here is risky in a case where your opponent would only net 1 point for this city. So 4 minus the 3 it would add to your field. I really don't see the need to meeple this one. The downside we can witness over here. So there is exactly one piece left to close this city, and that's of course the left-handed dagger. A dagger which might be useful over here if blue, for example, decides to use this one there, but they prefer scoring these 2 quick points, and that's definitely the better choice because this platform here could be used to kill one and threaten another square of yellow. Now the question is, do you do this? Save your meeple, still have the 50-50 shot and the dagger, and another 50-50 shot at the road monastery, and looks like yellow took this option. So let's see if blue uses the splitter over here, and if they do so, if they even add a farmer, just in case yellow gets monastery here, you could crawl around this city, or maybe even around the other one if yellow closes that. Yeah, here we go. Finally, yellow extends the field on the right side, and therefore blue could have decided to use the splitter there, creating a mini field with the option to attack yellow's field, with the chance of adding more cities to it. But this would also create a bigger field to fight for, and that might not be in their interest. They get the last dagger, so yellow city is dead. this city project is unlikely to complete. There's only one option still left. That would be drawing the rose and then a Dorito. And blue gets all the shiny city pieces. Yellow would like to draw. And for now, with 2 meeples in hand, blue should be able to win this one. There is this 6-point field, which they could take later. For now, the splitter actually is quite annoying. I guess some sort of city starter over here, maybe. Up top is not ideal because it would give back options to close a 6-point city. This here ain't ideal as well. In some cases, yellow could close a city, add a monastery, add another city, so just keeping clear of this unless you'd get the rose, which would kill the monastery as there's only one road monastery in the deck and no piece to extend this city after the last rose. So for now, even though blue is at -3, they might have better chances here, but this is tough. So -7 now. They get this clunker, which they can't use right now. Still 3 caps out there. The best one for blue isn't even the splitter, because in this case it might be more profitable to get the meeple back to take one of these 6-point farms. So crucial, yeah, well, more or less everything except for now the roads. So the road monastery is crucial, of course. The field monastery might be as well. City caps, sure, why not? Only good news for blue is yellow can't add this to their field, but they could just add the 1 monastery point. Which would give them the meeple back if they drew the road monastery. So in this case, this here is actually good news for blue, because this can't be used to take either of the 6-point fields. And this here should be is it the game winner? Let's actually think about this for a few seconds before I have to eat my words here. So both of them are guaranteed to take a 6-point field with one of these road pieces, but there's also this monastery left. So it looks like blue should take one of the fields and then on their last turn either take this monastery spot or one of the other fields. The other field, not one of the. But the problem is, if they take one field now and Bluste would take the next field, then a road by blue would only score 4 points, and then they'd be at -1. So in this case, they'd have to find a nice monastery spot for 5 points, which would be this one. I'm not sure that that's the right decision here. But we'll see. To me, it looks like Bluste has to take the other field. And then it comes down. Oh, there's another 5-point monastery spot on the left side. So let's see if Tompa finds that one. And then it should be a tie, which in this case goes to Tompa, as Bluste was the starting player. Yeah, got it. Game is tied, and this time Bluste doesn't have nice roads, so, and no open monastery, so he can't add the strait somewhere productive, and therefore this should be a tie, and the tie goes to Tompa. Yeah, he's right. But the other way works as well, hoping Tompa has the straight. Which would have won Bluste the game, because Tompa would have only scored 4 points. Let's see if Bluste will write exactly that or something else. And then I'll check this move here again, because to me it looks like this wasn't ideal, but it might as well be. So let's see if we can clear this up. Might just be the same as with the Ukrainians, coming down to a team vote or something. So the winner of tomorrow's match will get the Q1. Tomorrow's match is the match for the third place and bronze medal of the, I think it's still the Autumn League. Let's check. Yeah, it's the third place match of the Autumn League. That's Buha 44 and Vega Orion. Buha, by the way, is Tompa's brother. And let's quickly check the Spring League. Yeah, what I expected. These four are just the four best Croatians, so doesn't surprise me one bit that they were in third and fourth place in the Spring League as well. Would actually be interesting. Bluste and Tompa played a league final, and if Vega Orion were to beat Buha tomorrow, actually these two should play a league final for the third place. But if they decide on playing one actually, am I wrong here? Oh, that's 2 bronze medals. Okay, so there was, I mean, sure, Tompa is right. He should know this way better than me. There was no third place match. Okay, then that's not just the third place of the Autumn League, it's the third place overall, and all's fine and dandy. So let's take a look at this monastery again. Okay, 130 something would have been better. That's Bluste dumping this here. Actually, why the hell did he dump it there? Why didn't he add this on the city? This would have given him 1 point extra and the win. I mean, if someone of you knows any reason why Bluste should have added the splitter there, please tell me, but there's no way for any attack here. So this here, big fat blunder. All caps gone, only 2 monasteries and 2 road pieces remaining. So no chance in hell an attack could be mounted over here. So it looks like he miscounted somehow. Nonetheless, the situation is as follows. Bluste has +5, but only 1 meeple in hand. So I hope this works. Yeah, it does. Let's check this out here. Tompa used this square to secure the field here. I think with this orientation, but actually it doesn't matter. So in this case, he's at +1. And if he gets the monastery, he wins over here. And if Bluste gets the monastery on the next turn, Tompa wins by taking this field. So these are yellow tiles, and the middle ones are blues. So I did say that Tompa would win by getting the monastery on his next turn. And he would lose if Bluste gets a road piece and then Tompa gets a road piece like this. But Tompa also wins if Bluste gets the monastery for 5 and Tompa takes this 6-point field down. So overall, this monastery used to score the field has a 66% win rate, if I'm not mistaken. Mind you, these are quick back of the envelope calculations, but I think I'm right unless I miss some big road. The biggest one is this year for 4 points, and that would be 1 point shy of the tie which we witnessed. So monastery, like Tompa played in the game, 66% win. Let's reset these real quick. So I proposed something like that, which might be the same actually. So Tompa takes 5 points. Game is tied. Bluste could take 6 points with the monastery. Then Tompa would take this field, not with the monastery, with the farmer on the monastery. Then Tompa would take the field on the left, so a tie as well. Therefore, what did I say? Bluste with the monastery. These would go to Tompa. If Tompa were to get a road piece on their next turn, they'd take either field anyway. And if they'd get the monastery, the best Tompa could hope for would be this 5-point spot, which would be available only if Bluste doesn't use this with the curve, and quite likely he would. The problem though is 5 points are not enough anyway, because Bluste would score 6 points with the field. And there you have it. It's the same result as placing the monastery over here and using it as a platform to farm this field. So this doesn't move the needle one bit. There is one other option which I missed. That would be this one here. The problem is limiting the square. So Tompa takes 6 points for a +1 lead. Then, then Bluste takes this field for 6 points with any piece. So he would be up +5. And Tompa then would win with monastery or straight, either taking a 6-point field or a 5-point monastery spot. So let's tabulate these. Bluste gets 6 points, but Tompa gets a curve for 4 up top. Can't take this field here. So that option goes to Bluste. And this option goes to Tompa. Actually, he would score 7 over here. 6 for the field, plus another one for his monastery. So 13 points versus a 6, therefore a 2-point win. If Bluste gets this one over here, Tompa gets a monastery, then Tompa wins due to a tie. Same for this option. And this one here would go to Tompa as well, but then there's the dreaded curve again, which doesn't win Tompa the game. Therefore, it's the same spiel again. So any other options? Doesn't look like it, actually. Any other options? Well, there would be this one, actually. But scoring 7, so more or less +1, but giving yellow another meeple surely won't win you the game, with yellow still having 2 moves left. Would this change anything? Let's see. So no, it's still blue. Tompa taking this 5-point monastery spot. Nah, that doesn't help. Because then getting the monastery for 5 in the end would lose him the game. Yeah, looks like all options were a 66% winning chance for Tompa, no matter what. And it looks like in many of these cases, yellow just would have won if they had added this splitter on their big city on the left. And I still don't know why yellow didn't do this. So let's take a look at the times again. Don't remember if they were under time trouble. So that's the third to last move. Yeah, not really. Where is it? This looks like 2 moves over here, so was this the one? Let's see. Bluste places a meeple on the field. Last turn, places a tile. No. Sorry, it's wrong. That's Bluste's last turn. Penultimate turn. And that's the turn where Bluste placed the splitter. Doesn't help me without thinking times. This here should work better. So again, Bluste's last turn, penultimate turn. And that's the turn with the splitter. Yeah, no time trouble at all. So I don't get the splitter move. So Bluste, if you later watch this, please chime in the comments and let us know why you didn't add the splitter to your city. So that's it for the Croatian League finals. Again, congratulations to Tompa, taking down the mighty Bluste, securing a group stage ticket to next year's Champions League. Again, if you haven't witnessed the chat, Bluste already had secured a Q3 ticket by being the runner-up of this year's MSO Grand Prix, where Alexei won, but Alexei won the Champions League as well. So the ticket goes to Bluste, and therefore the third place finisher of the Croatian Autumn League will get the Q1 ticket of Croatia. And again, this match will be played tomorrow. Let's check. I think the Latvian semifinal is running at the same time. It is. I would expect Alexei to cover this one. If not, quite likely, we'll see about that. Looks like Otto covered this match as well, so maybe he'll cover one of these two tomorrow. We'll let you know. Just keep an eye on carcassonne.gg, or of course subscribe if you want to get notified. I think you have to hit the bell icon as well. Later today there is another very interesting duel happening. That's Mars 15 versus Game Over, or Croatian Brother 1 versus Croatian Brother 2 in the Romanian Carcassonne Online Championship semi-final, or something along these lines, because it's a double elimination bracket. The loser would go to the losers round, and the winner of the losers round 5 then would advance to the finals. And if the loser of oh damn it, come on, let's do it again. So one of these two guys, the winner, goes to the final. For the sake of the argument, let's just pick us. Game Over goes to the losers round final, let's say versus Erwin G. Then I'd favor Game Over in this case, so he would hypothetically win versus Erwin G and move on to the finals. If in these finals Mars would win, then all is said and done. Mars wins the whole shebang. If Game Over would win, these two would play a rematch, and the winner of this rematch would win the Romanian Carcassonne Online Championship. And that's double elimination for runaways. Yeah, so looks like Otto is in the chat. Let me quickly highlight what he said. Yeah, we'll see about it. I think if it depends more or less on Alexei Otto. So if Alexei covers the Latvians, I quite likely would cover the Croatians, and if not, we'll split it either way. I don't really care for the one or the other, so I don't mind picking one, but we'll get to a decision later, I guess. So again, this year, later in roughly 50 minutes, I'll start the stream. Brother versus brother. The winner goes to the final, where they could meet again, or meet, was it Nicolai, yeah, or Erwin G. And then they might need a rematch, etc. pp. So yeah, that's the best description, actually. Where is my mouse? Here's my mouse. All roads lead to Rome. Yeah, in the Romanian Championship, as well as in covering tomorrow's 15 UTC games in the Croatian and Latvian championships. So that's it for now, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you in 50 minutes. Bye-bye.